What you're about to see is the result of a 4-year war. A war that was supposed to completely destroy a multi-billion-dollar asset, but instead, it accidentally forged it into a weapon for Wall Street. And no, I'm not exaggerating. This isn't about hype. It's about following the money. And right now, the money is telling a story that almost everybody has completely missed. You see, while the whole world was glued to the courtroom drama, Ripple was very quietly spending $4 billion building a vault. But here's the thing, it wasn't for you or me. It was for the biggest players on Wall Street. This is the twist that nobody saw coming. So stick with me, because by the end of this explainer, you are going to understand their exact game plan. We're going to break down the 3-step institutional playbook that could be the rocket fuel for 2026. The ignition sequence has already started. Okay, so it all kicks off with the villain of our story, Gary Gensler, the man who tried to kill XRP, but instead he ended up making it basically invincible for the one group that truly matters, big finance. You heard that right. Gary Gensler's 4-year crusade against Ripple had the complete opposite effect of what he intended. He didn't break XRP. Nope, he stress-tested it. He battle-hardened it. And, most importantly, he gave it the one thing no other major crypto asset has: court-mandated regulatory clarity right here in the United States. And just look at this transformation. I mean, it's incredible. Before the lawsuit, the XRP Ledger was, let's be honest, a ghost town for DeFi. You had over $180 billion in capital just sitting there, idle, because nobody wanted to touch it with that regulatory uncertainty. But after the lawsuit, it is a completely different beast. It's institution-ready, it's compliant, it's battle-tested, and it has that big, beautiful legal green light that banks absolutely crave. Gensler didn't build a cage, he built a fortress for them. So, with that newfound clarity, Ripple immediately moved to the next phase of its master plan, building a $4 billion Trojan horse to get right inside the walls of the traditional financial system. Now, this wasn't just random spending. This was a calculated 3-step assault. Step 1, they bought companies for treasury management to help institutions handle their digital assets. Step 2, they secured ironclad custody solutions, to store everything safely. And step 3, prime brokerage integration, so the big guys can actually trade. And what's the result? A perfect all-in-one, one-stop shop that lets a Wall Street giant tokenize, custody, and trade assets seamlessly on the XRP Ledger. They didn't just build a product, they built the entire assembly line for them. And this is the prize they're after: $16 trillion. That's the conservative estimate for the market of tokenizing real-world assets. We're talking real estate, stocks, bonds, the whole shebang. This massive market is the entire reason Ripple built its $4 billion machine. And let me be perfectly clear, this is not some theory for 2030. The vault is open right now. The engine has been turned on, and we're already seeing capital begin to flow. And that capital is flowing into something called institutional DeFi. Now, I want you to forget everything you think you know about DeFi. This version is built from the ground up for banks. It's secure, it's compliant, and it is designed specifically for them to lend against and earn yield on their newly tokenized real-world assets. And the proof is already hitting the ledger. New protocols on the XRPL, like Doppler Finance, saw their vaults fill up with over $81 million in deposits almost instantly. For the very first time, these massive dormant pools of XRP are being put to work as a real yield-generating asset. The institutional demand is not just coming, it's here. But that 81 million, that's just the test run. That's just the appetizer. Projects like Flare's Firelight are being built right now to serve as the trillion-dollar hook, allowing these institutions to collateralize their real-world assets and unlock absolutely staggering amounts of capital that's been trapped on their balance sheets for decades. Okay, but how do we know for sure? How do we know institutions are really biting? How do we prove this demand isn't just a theory? Well, the proof is in the flow. The ultimate signal has finally arrived. Just look at this. During the recent market crash, when money was flying out of Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, where do you think it went? Over $1 billion poured into the newly launched XRP ETFs. This right here is the smoking gun. While retail investors were panicking, the institutions were calmly allocating serious capital to the only major crypto asset with regulatory clarity in the US. So the bottom line is this. The war is over, and Ripple won. That $4 billion infrastructure is live, the institutional demand has been proven with hard data, and every single piece of the puzzle is now perfectly in place for the 2026 cycle. Now, if you got any value from this crypto global news breakdown, do me a favor, smash that like button and make sure you subscribe and hit the bell right now. And here's why that's so important. YouTube sometimes bans these videos for being a little too direct. For the completely uncensored updates, you absolutely need to join our Telegram. The link is right below. Do it now, you won't regret it. Which leaves us with one final provocative question. It's really no longer a matter of if, but when. With this institutional vault now officially wide open, which major U.S. bank is going to be the first one to make the move and shift its trillions onto the XRP Ledger? And if you think this is the whole story, you're dead wrong. The ETF signal is just the beginning. To see the evidence that the world's largest asset manager is involved, you need to watch our next explainer, the BlackRock signal that no one is talking about. Click the card on your screen right now.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.